Hi everyone, today I'm building a tool that will help me at work actually. So the tool is going to be, I'm going to add some mock data to an Excel file, and then using Kotlin and a library called FastExcel, we're going to get this data from the Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to manipulate the data, format it in some way, and then produce a bunch of text files as reports. And just to give you a bit of a context to why I'm doing this, so as the head of computing, one of my responsibilities is to manage workload of colleagues, essentially who teaches what, who needs to go where, and this kind of stuff. And to help with this task, we have our timetabling department who use a different system. So the system we use produces an Excel file which contains lots of information, which is not needed for the timetabling team to actually timetable. So they have to manually extract some of the stuff that we produce. To make this process a bit faster, what I'm thinking is it could be automated. I got to sort of discuss this stuff with the team, and they were saying that would actually help. So I'm going to do that essentially today. Right, I'm going to use Kotlin for this because Kotlin, when it comes to data manipulation, Kotlin is just best. So I'll need a directory called Kotlin. So I need to remember how to actually add Kotlin. I've got one of my Kotlin projects open here somewhere. I think it's that one. So I think I just need to copy paste this thing. It should do, right? Goes into build. Nope, we need plugins, and then this is a plugin. I need to add a source version, which is 16, and Kotlin version is 1.510. How about that? Oh, we need a compiler version for Maven. Maven compiler version, I think it's 3.8.1. Is it? What is it saying? Okay. I think it's happy now. Yeah, it's marking my Kotlin directory as source root. Good. Let's add a package. We're going to call, well, I already called this thing timetabler because it's going to extract some information. Let's go with just main, plain and simple. What do you mean Kotlin is not configured? So I think what it's saying is I need to extract this, let it configure it, Java with Maven, all modules containing that version, and then it's going to insert its own thing, which I'm going to replace with my own thing. And then the IDE is happy because it thinks it did something. And we don't need this. We do need a dependency on Kotlin, which is, do we need a dependency on Kotlin? I'm just going to let it try do its own thing. And then okay, fair enough. So we do need dependency on Kotlin, which is not this. I don't remember what the actual thing is. Maybe it's that. Yeah, because since 1 point something, Kotlin's dependency is now modular, which is good. It's not going to make much of a difference for this project because the library I'm using isn't modular, which is this one, Fast Excel. Right, so might as well get this into our project. Fast Excel. Right, all errors went away, so I think it's happy. Okay. So what do we need to do? I'm going to add some more data now. Work. Right, so the way the spreadsheet that we use is actually quite big, but it has a very specific formatting, and it goes something like, it has last name, first name of the person delivering that specific module. Module is like a subject. And then let's go for module code, module name, room in which the module needs to run, because some modules, like on the game development course, they will require powerful PCs, which we only have in certain rooms. Number of hours, actually no, semester. Probably, it doesn't actually matter. So semester 1, 2, or both. What else? Number of hours. And then maybe groups of students, and then some other things that we don't really care about. Right, so A1, B2, C3, B1, C2, D3, module code, computing 101, maths 101, computing 102, and then let's repeat a few of these so that we can see how this is going to work. D4, E5, this is going to be something like E4, F6, or F5, doesn't matter. As long as there's some data in it. Module name could be programming. This is, I know, computing architecture. And this is something like geometry. Room, some of them are going to be empty. Let's add room 5, 7, 7, 5, and this one is empty. Semester 1, 1 plus 2, this is 2, this is 1, and this is 1 plus 2. Number of hours, 3. Oh, we're missing type. Now let's go for type, because some of them are going to be lectures, some are going to be tutorials, others are going to be seminars, workshops, and all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a lecture, this is a tutorial, lecture, tutorial, and this is something like a seminar. I'll leave these empty, maybe add something like software engineers. Actually, no, they won't do that. Software engineers would do programming. Number of hours, 2, 2. Let's make it a bit more interesting. 1, 1, and this is 3. So that there's some variety, so that we can check. That's good enough. That's more or less all the information that we need to extract from a sheet that is very big. But this is the core information that our timetabling team will need. In which case, I don't think I'll need this anymore. So I'll just save this, close it. This is the file that I'm going to extract from. And let's see how to use this library. I don't need to write, I just need to read. Yeah, this looks good. I can read this. What? So we need to have several functions, I guess. One is to read the data, get it into memory, program memory. Once we've done that, everything is kind of easy because it's our data now. It's in our domain, not in Excel's domain, which means we can manipulate some stuff. And then we need to do the manipulation and finally output. So input, work, output. Something like read, do stuff, write. Integrate a directory for output. Let's call it modules. And all the text reports are going to go there. I don't think we need this class, actually. Right, so whenever you're thinking architecture in terms of a program, I know we don't normally do architecture because I write kind of programs that are only one-off, but this is something that I need to maintain in the future. Should it be helpful to other people. So architecture is kind of a big thing when it comes to maintenance. And when you're designing a reasonably good architecture, you want to start with the data structures, because everything else then just falls into place. So we need this thing, all of these, but represented in memory of our application, right? So let's define a data class, which is like kind of Java records since Java 16 that they've had. I think it's Java 16. And they're really nice because it gives you the ability to just forget about things like hash code, to-string formatting, and everything else. Let's call it timetable entry for now. Then let's define the fields for that. Its last name is going to be string, first name, string. So these can't be empty. Module code, module name, room, I suppose semester should come first. number of hours, that's an int, because it's never a decimal, right? You can't have like 1.5 hours of a session. Okay, so this is where the architecture thing can actually hinder you. So if you're thinking too general, that's also bad, because you might be actually adding complexity to your work, and you don't want that. So the program needs to be scalable, but to a certain extent. Like, I know in our department, we only do full hours. There's never like a half of a tutorial. So we're always going to have either 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and so on. So I am going to keep it as int. Group as a string or list of strings. I don't know. I'll keep it as a string for now. So essentially, we're just going to read it into these values and then do something with them, I suppose. We need a type. Is it a lecture, tutorial, a seminar? So stuff like that. Timetable entry. That looks good for now. Read workload. The Excel file is called the workload file. So we're going to read from it. I assume we're going to pass a path, which is basically a file from which you're reading. And then this is going to return a list of timetable entries. I should be able to obtain an input stream to path. Files, new input stream. There we go. That's perfect. There is no try catch in Kotlin, but there is this thing which is very similar. It also closes the resource, as far as I can remember. Closes down correctly, yeah, that's fine. So this is the stream. We need to produce this WB thing, workbook. Okay. Readable. Reader what? Why do I not have this in my space? It is a Maven dependency, so I'm not sure why you're not seeing it. Let's reload the project and then see if it does anything. I'm not actually sure where this thing comes from. Oh, I'm using the wrong dependency. There we go. Let's try this version and then see if they've updated it to 0.8. This seems possible, so let's try that now. Yeah, just import. Nice. We got our book object, get first sheet. There is only one sheet over here, but in our actual model, there are lots of them. So I need an index to the sheet. I guess this allows me to query it. Get sheet. Nice. I like the API of this library. So modules sheet index, which for now I'm going to set it to 0 because that's the first sheet. Get sheet, no, module sheet index. Was it return? It's an optional. Okay. And then we go through rows. I don't think I need this information, so I can just get rid of it. Open stream for that sheet if it's present. Can I just map it? Should I flat map it? Because I want rows. Quite optional found stream. Oh, it's flat map for optional stuff. Okay. Map, map streams further. This is the rows stream, which I can. So essentially, each row needs to be mapped to this thing. So it's rows map pass. We need to pass a row. I think that's the class. And it needs to return timetable entry. No, it needs to return this thing. And then I can simply do that. It's going to return optional, and I'm just going to return it, or else get, or else turn the stream which we need to collect. It collect to collectors to list, and then I can do or else just empty list, and the whole thing can be returned. In fact, I don't need this object. Now, isn't this beautiful? Nice. Functional programming paradigm is really powerful when it comes to dealing with lots of data. And in some other cases, when you need to prove something about your program. So all we need to do now is just implement this one little function, which is going to convert this to that. So entry, this is going to be timetable entry. In fact, I can just return this by populating its values. So I'm going to explicitly add the name of the parameter here, so it's clearer. Get cell as string. No, I just wanted text, I guess. These indices are not correct because the mock data is mock data, and in the actual data there's going to be they're going to be different indices. So I'm going to add them here so I can easily replace them. Last name index, it's here going to be 0. First name index, module code index, module name, what else we got? Semester, number of hours, and so on. I'm just going to skip this because there's no need to. There's nothing in here. Type index. Yeah, this looks good. Actually, I can use the same thing and then convert it to an int. Do int or null if the string is not valid, and then return 0. Or -1 actually, because 0 can be valid for some modules. Some modules don't need timetabling. And then room. This can go. Let's read. Entries. Paths get. What was the name of the thing? Work. XL SX. So we got entries. What do we do with them? Let's just print them and see if this works. what's happening. Internal error for Kotlin. Is it because I'm using SDK 16? Let's switch it to 15. And then update this. Because it might be that the Kotlin compiler isn't yet updated for Java 16. Nope, it's not that. I wonder if it's because I'm using a different version of Kotlin. Let's downgrade to 1.4.30. Let's try building it from the command line and see if it's any different. Language level. What's the problem with the language level? What about 11? Okay, this is a slightly different error. Is it? Module Java base does not opens Java util to unnamed module. Why would you need a module? it will probably complain about this, but I'll ask it nicely to embed it here and then run. This is interesting because now that has the module info. So it, okay, let's make the entire thing open. And then open something all at once. Opens Java util. Why is it unnamed? Am I forgetting to add something? All of this looks fine. That is just weird. Shall we use a different version of Java? Bash. Yeah. Looks about right. Let's go for JDK 11. Can't actually remember what the thing is. To close this. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So somehow, somewhere, there is this, which I assume the Kotlin team either didn't fix or the JDK is interfering with something. That doesn't help because I still can't run it from the IDE, right? Yeah, because that's still using a different, somehow still using a different version. Even though it says 11. Let's get rid of those because they are not doing much anyway. Because I'm forcing the source over here in release. Is there a way to invalidate something? Clear download chain indices. Nope. File system cache and local history. Because apparently it somehow still uses JDK something, not 11. Because I know 430 and 11 work nicely together. Okay, so we're now getting somewhere finally. So what I'm thinking is the error was within the IDE because that compiled just fine. Well, it threw a warning, but you know, it's warning. Something to note for the future: if your IDE is telling you something cannot be done for whatever reason, just double check using the command line, because chances are the ID might be broken, or it may have something that stuck in its kind of workflow. Right, so this works. It gives us the correct results, except for the first entry, which obviously we need to do something about because these are the headings. So we might want to skip this first row. Num rows to skip, or something like row index data row index, which is going to be the index of the first row containing data, which means excluding all the headers, all empty rows and stuff like that. For us, in the mock data, it's going to be 1, because 0, 1, which means we need to skip this many rows, I think. Get sheet map rows. This is where we need to skip those. Skip data row index. Let's keep it an int there, and then I'm just going to convert it to long here. So we know this works now, which is good. I now need to produce, well, we need to do something with sorting, potentially. We need to sort it before writing it out. For now, I think just writing should more or less do, because we don't have a lot of data. And then once I actually know what format they would like, then I can do the actual sorting. So read workload, do stuff, and then write. So entries group, because we're going to group it by module, because that's what they will need. Module code. And this gives me back a map where the key is the module code. The value is the list of entries with that module code. So it's super powerful. And then for each such combination of module code and I don't think we actually, well, we do need the module code, and then no, not going to use the same name, rows. And then somehow write to file module code string, because it will produce module code.txt in this directory called modules. Then we need the data, so rows, which is a list of timetable entry. I think I can call entries here. So we will need files, right? I think one of these. So paths get modules, module code.txt. I like this bit in Kotlin. Can't remember what this feature is called, but it's really nice. So we're writing these entries, but how do we want to format them? For now, let's just write them as is, and we'll see how this works. Map it to string. There we go. That's awesome. Now it's actually these rows that I need to write. I could even maybe do something like this, if this works. Write to file. Oh, it isn't part of this object. What about this? I suppose you can't find this function anywhere. Anyway, this would have been nice, possibly. That should actually work, right? So if I run this, and it's going to write a bunch of files under peer. So we have our first module, which is that one. And the text obviously needs to be formatted somehow. 102 and then maths 101. And this is exactly how we set this up, right? So we have computing 101 taught by 2 people. Maths 101 is taught by 2 people. And then computing 102 is just 1 person. This is good. I suppose one last thing is just to add some intermediate formatting and then wait for the team to tell me what kind of format they would like to see. Something like this maybe, and then this could have format. Now you would generally provide the actual formatting here. That way you're kind of making it scalable and general, so it's not tied to any specific formatting. But I think I can just hard code it for now in here. We need last name. We need first name. I wonder if I should pad it as well, so that it kind of looks like a table almost. Let's go for 25, and then we'll see how this works. Well, for us in our mock data, this isn't going to be much actually, so I might need to do something like this. So it's a bit longer. In which case it's name of the person teaching that session. We don't need to include module code because it's going to be, the file entirely is that module code. Same with the name. We We might, however, want to add a single line at the top. Something like this. Two new lines to separate it, to separate the content. So we're done right. The do stuff is if we need to. So it's name, semester. So that's the first thing that you would want to know, because you're going to then sort it to semester 2 or semester 1, and then based on that you're going to pick the room or something. So semester. Five characters for semester, because it's 1, 2, or 1 plus 2, I think. Then you probably want to know the type. Pad this to 4, because it goes, no, actually it can't be 4, there's a seminar. Let's go for 8. Then number of hours, and then finally room and group stuff, because group and room, these are very optional. Actually, for a lot of the sessions, we don't know what rooms will be. The people teaching the modules, they all know. So it will be mostly absent in these rows. So number of hours padded with, oh, it's right. It's not actually, it's an int. I don't think we even need to pad it. Let's see. Not too bad. We probably want some headings over here, because otherwise it's very difficult to know what these actually mean. This is looking good. Now the problem is I can't add formatting here, so this somehow needs to be known up front, which is fine, I suppose. I mean, it's not a big file to edit. If I need to, I can remember where things are, hopefully. Famous last words. Last name. First name. And then I know the whole thing is padded by 25. I might want to extract this into a constant. Name padding is 25. Last name, first name to be padded by this value. And then we need haven't added the new line character yet, so I'm still on the same line. The next things are semester, then type, and then number of hours. So this is semester. Now the word semester is actually quite big. 5, 8. So I need at least 9, I think, to account for space. Type, padding. And then number of hours we don't need to pad because it's the last thing. Once I introduce group and room things, I will need to maybe do something about. And that needs a new line operator to then move to the next line. Okay, let's see. Wait, what? That was supposed to be all on the same line. List of. Oh, it's not the same string. It needs to be the same string. So these pluses are actually not adding to themselves, adding to this list. So it needs to be list of that, and then that. Not sure which one is more readable. Good news is there isn't a lot of stuff here for now. So let's see. This is a bit better. Semester. Why is this so far? Oh, I may need to actually do even. Actually, I could just use the word sem, because it's an accepted way to shorten the word semester, so everyone will know what that means. This is much better, and I can reduce this space between the two. Can we even go further and kind of add vertical lines after each of those things? Something like this, maybe. And semester padding can go down to maybe 6. And then it's something like that. Something weird going on at the top. Oh, I haven't accounted for internal spaces. I think that's one of the things that's messing it up slightly. So these are not supposed to be there, these spaces. Maybe it's them that make it look weird. Yeah. And then I can figure out how to center it, potentially, if need be. I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now because I still don't know what the actual format is going to be, and then we'll see later how this goes. Okay, I think that's some good progress on this thing. So I'm going to commit and push that. Hopefully it's been helpful for you to see how you can actually read, which was the easiest thing to do. This library is actually really, really nice. I wish it was for Java 11 plus, but you know, I don't know if it's too difficult to convert it and contribute to this library. So if you're interested, it seems like lots of contributors there, so they're probably very accepting in terms of pull requests. You may wish to check this out. On that note, thank you for watching, and I'll see everyone in the next video.